Hi, my name is Lee Hendrickson. Welcome to my studio. I'm a photographer who takes photographs of crystals through a microscope. And the way I do this is that I first grow crystals on a glass microscope slide. And these are organic crystals. Think of sugar being an example of an organic crystal. So I can grow them in a period of a couple hours to overnight, for example. What I do is I dissolve that in a solvent and then put it on a microscope slide and allow it to dry. What happens is that the crystals form a thin layer. And these crystals now don't look like much, but under the microscope, as I'm going to show you in a second on the monitor here, they create color and pattern that is unique for every event. It's like growing snowflakes. It's going to be different every time. And then I will search through that slide for a small area, it's typically no bigger than a pin, that has a composition that appeals to me as an artist, and take the photo through the camera that's mounted to the microscope. Now the reason they have color here under the microscope, and you did not see that when I showed you the slide, is because they behave like small prisms. And as we know, prisms can refract light. So light is coming up through the crystal, being refracted, and depending on the shape of the crystalline array, we see different colors. After I've captured that image, I can print it onto different media. And in this case, behind me, I have one printed on metal. I also do them on museum paper. But we can do them in different sizes. You can see more of my work in my gallery page at photographyofcrystals.com. And there's about 100 other images, different crystalline substances, for example. And there's also a frequently asked questions page, and you can contact me through that website if you have questions or need help with design ideas. Thanks for stopping by today. I look forward to seeing you in the future.
My name is Jeremy Cecile Kira. I am a visionary artist. I paint my dreams. When I dream, I am processing what I have seen and heard when I am awake. Then I paint the painting from my dream and write a description of what I see and what it means. My mission is to show people their inner beauty and spiritual essence, and to paint my visions of current events and social injustice, providing hope of possible resolutions. I meet my clients over Zoom or FaceTime. I paint their colors based on the energetic vibration or aura I see around them. I have the gift of synesthesia, which means I see emotion as color, and voices and sound elicit color as well. I paint the positive colors of my clients so they can see their inner potential and spiritual essence. Happy people are easy to paint, but sometimes clients have terrible ideas about themselves, low confidence in their abilities. Before I learned to type to communicate, I frankly lived in darkness. Gradually over time my mother and others taught me. Then I realized I had the ability to learn, and that I had gifts that were hidden until I was able to show others what I was capable of. This saved me from a life of despair and gave me great hope for my future. Years later, I learned to give people the great hope that they needed to continue living. Frankly, I love to see their surprise when they see the painting and read the description, that they have all these beautiful attributes. Recently I have been painting visions I have about current events and social injustice. For 4 months I did not have access to an art studio due to the coronavirus restrictions. Frankly, I had so many dreams about what we all were living through that I learned how to translate my visions via digital art on my iPad. Hope in the Time of Coronavirus was created during that time. It's a series of 5 digital art representations of my visions. You can get an idea of the descriptions by hearing the titles, The Heroes of These Days, The Wonderful Colors of a Healed Planet, Truly Great Power to Overcome, Truly Things Really Will Improve, Truly Great Boredom Overcome Inside. Frankly, overall the meaning is one of hope, that people learn from this time the importance of the meaning of friendship and connecting with others. Truly the best impact of coronavirus is the very hard economic reality that people are now beginning to understand, We have been believing that success is about power and money, but truly success is about the love we show each other. I have created limited editions prints, coasters and cards, from this series. Frankly, I want people to feel hope when most people are spending most of their time at home and separated from loved ones, and for people to be able to provide hope to others. Now I have a small art studio at the family home and can enjoy painting with real paint once again. I'm once again painting portraits of clients and memorial art of loved ones who have died. I also have finished paintings of current events such as the beautiful colors of San Diego under the coronavirus and Black Lives Matter protests represents the colors of my city in the very midst of the coronavirus and the protests for the death of George Floyd. These events are sad, but hope is still present. The color yellow-green represents the new growth and unity of the people coming together, and mighty turquoise blue represents the powerful and positive change that is yet to come. The hope of real hurting Americans represents a terrible dream I had, that violence in America was frankly getting worse with people protesting and feeling like they are not being heard. Yet, there was much beauty for the positiveness to come after the turmoil. For example, beautiful purple represents the many new people who will step up to try to be positive leaders for our country. Magenta represents the people needing to be heard so change can be made. I'm grateful to be back painting with acrylic in an art studio, and look forward to meeting you again in person. Feel free to reach me for more information via my website at jeremysvision.com, or message me via Instagram at jeremysvision. Meanwhile, stay well and stay connected.
Hi, welcome to the studio. My name is Lisa Bryson. I am lucky enough to share my space with my mother, who's also an artist, Susan Salazar. She works in colored pencil. So her side of the studio is very neat and clean, and my side seems to be a little bit more disarray. But not disarray because I'm a messy person, it's just my process. I work in oil paint, and I work both small scale and large scale. And for the small scale paintings, I use your traditional palette knives, and I also use paintbrush. But for the larger works, like the one behind me, I also find that I need to have other tools in my kit. So I also use masonry trowels. They're great for laying down paint quickly, and then I can go back in and add more detail and break up the color. My work tends to be very expressive. I like to bring in a sense of emotionality, but it tends to be more on the stoic side. There's always an underlying hint of humor, although rather dark at times. And my work examines humanity. Humanity, the experience of being human, things that we can identify with and share on a universal language, but also there are very personal undertones and messages that I like to bring into the work. And I don't always share the meaning or purpose. There are times when I let it be left up to the viewer to decide what it is I'm trying to say. But I would say that my work is very much in the expressive mode. It is almost entirely portraits or self-portraits. There are times when I do paint objects such as chairs. Chairs have become part of my my set, in addition to my portraiture. I like to feel that I imbue my chairs with a sense of being, and that you have a history that is there, that you sense someone has sat and experienced a life in that chair. Maybe it's been passed around from generation to generation. And so I like to have those moments when you feel like, God, I really understand what she's trying to say. And just painting a chair, it's amazing what you can bring through in the language of paint. So I'm not going to take up a bunch of your time with me just going on and talking. I just want to take a few minutes and just kind of give you a view of some of the works that I have. Right now my studio is rather full. With COVID, it's been a challenge trying to get the work out there, so this experience is wonderful to be able to share and have you come into my studio virtually, but you are more than welcome to come into my studio at Liberty Station as well, in Barracks 19. Anyway, so I'm just gonna hopefully do this without making you feel sick. I'm gonna move around and show you some of the work. Some of it's sideways, some of it's upright, but I try to do my best to make it fit within the space. So here we go. This piece I just recently completed. See if I can get it in there, and it is called The Gilded Age, a satirical self-portrait. Come over here, and here's some of my larger works. Some work up on the wall. And then this is one of my larger pieces. It's on her side right now until I have a place for her to hang. I have some pieces up here. Let's see if I can take this down and show you a little bit of one of my chairs. That's one of my chair paintings. Just recently reworked. I felt it needed to have more texture and richness to it. Here's some other pieces. Work in progress. So there you have it. It's a little bit of view of what I have in my studio. Also in the hallway, there's about 7 portraits, that large-scale portraits that I've also completed, and it was part of an homage series. So come on down and check it out. And thank you again for your time.